In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the MyStudio MS20 photo studio. This is probably the most popular tabletop product photography studio on the market. And I'm going to show you what's in the box first, which is everything right here on the table, and then how we put everything together. So let's take a look at everything that comes in the box when you order it. First of all, we have got the MS20 Psych background. This is a seamless background. It's white ABS plastic. We recommend that you clean the surface with soft scrub first before using it. It just helps take off some of the shine, cleans it. You can also clean that if you got any marks on it. We recommend using soft scrub. This is the top reflector that goes over the light. It's going to be over like this and help reflect the light down onto your products and into the studio. This is the crossbar. It's got the MyStudio sticker on it. The lamp is actually going to attach to the face of this with the reflector. Got the two bounce cards and easel backs. They'll be used to help reflect light onto your products in the studio. Over here, these two pieces are identical. These are powder-coated aluminum legs. They're going to be upright, supporting the light bar. These are the feet. They're also identical pieces. Here we have the lamp fixture. It comes without the bulb inside it, and you have the bulb separately. This is a 5000K fluorescent. It's a daylight bulb. Give you accurate color in your photos. Finally, we've got the hardware. There are 6 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws, and 4 hex nuts are going to go with those. 2 of the screws are not going to use hex nuts. 2 1/4 by 3/4 inch screws with 2 hex nuts. Those are going to be used to attach the lamp onto the crossbar and through the reflector. And then you've got the light, I already mentioned, and you have the thumb screws. So these are going to actually be used to raise and lower the light on the light stand when we get that set up. And finally, these do not come in the box, but these are the tools you'll need to set it up. Got a flathead screwdriver. Optionally, you could use Phillips, but we prefer flathead. Now I've got a 7/16 nut driver right here. You could use a crescent wrench, but I really think this works better. So, without further ado, let's start setting this up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the legs and the feet. Now, when the MyStudio MS20 is set up, it's going to have a light stand like this. There's going to be a left foot and a right foot. Like I said, these pieces are identical, so it all just depends on how you angle the flange right here and the outside part and where you put the leg. So we're going to do the left foot first. We're going to take the foot, the 2 holes in the leg, and we're going to line it up with the outside edge or the bottom edge facing out. And we're going to just line it up right there. We're going to leave 1 hole in the back. So this will be the front of the foot, this will be the back. We're going to take 2 of the 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws, and we're just going to put those right through here. You can do 1 at a time or 2 at a time. And then we're just going to put the hex nuts on the back right there. Just do it finger tight at first, and then we'll tighten it like that with the nut driver. Oops, there it goes. Just make it snug. It doesn't have to be real tight. Okay, so there's the left leg and foot, and now we're going to do the right one. So we want the foot part pointed out towards the right. We're going to leave 1 hole in the back and put the leg on the outside of the flange here. And just that simply, the legs and feet are put together. Okay, now we can put those to the side. We'll bring those out later when we're ready to put the light on it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the crossbar, and we're going to take the 2 remaining 1/4 by 1/2 inch screws, and we're going to install these onto the outside edge holes of the crossbar. Not the one that has the steel reinforcement here, but the just the bottom hole. And we are going to take the screw and screw it from the inside towards the outside. And this is a threaded hole, so you just kind of want to get it started in there. That was kind of clumsy. And then use the screwdriver, and you're going to screw this all the way in. until it's snug. And what this screw does is when it goes onto the light stand, it actually, you just put this through the hole, and then you're going to put the black thumb screw in through this side and screw it in. So you only have to unscrew the thumb screw every time you want to raise and lower the light stand, and then this locating screw just provides security. So now we'll do the other side. So now this is in the crossbar. We're going to take the crossbar and we're ready to put the reflector and the lamp on it. First, before we use the lamp, we're going to take the diffuser off. Now, one thing you want to do, there's little locking tabs on here that can break off if you're not careful. So in order to remove the diffuser, instead of just pulling it off, we take the flat end of the screwdriver, put it in between this, just kind of give it a gentle twist next to some of the locking tabs. You can do it on both sides, it'll pop right off without breaking any tabs. Okay, now that we've got the diffuser off the lamp, we're ready to go ahead and start assembling the light bar. So we're going to grab the two 1/4 20 by 3/4 inch screws. They should be the only ones you have left, and the hex nuts. And we're going to line these things up like this. The crossbar, you've got the light, and you've got the reflector. It's actually the order we're going to put them in. We're going to do the crossbar, then we're going to lay down the reflector over these holes, and then we're going to lay the lamp on top of that, and the screws are going to go through from the outside in. So first thing we want to do, you want to make sure that your MyStudio sticker is upside down when you're looking at it. That will make it the right side up when you actually turn it over. So we're going to flip it over like this, and we're going to line up. We're going to do one side at a time. That's the easiest way I've found to do it. Some of your reflectors may have 3 holes on either side, some may have 2. Whichever it is, just kind of center it, pick a couple holes that line up in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and put one here. And then I am going to take the lamp and feed it through the hole right here. I'm not going to worry about that other side just yet. I'm going to go ahead and put a locking nut on this side. And I'm not going to worry about getting it too tight just yet. Then we're going to come over to this side. Again, we're going to start going through from the outside into the reflector and then right into the lamp, and put the other nut on here. And now all we need to do is tighten it down. We don't need to use the nut driver on this. All we want to do is hold one side with your finger and the other side with a screwdriver and just kind of get it finger tight. If you did it too tight, you could possibly crack the lamp. So we're just going to kind of do it finger tight, get it nice and snug in there. All right, so that is all connected. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the light bulb, take it out of the sleeve. All right, I don't know if you can see these little prongs at the end. You just want to line them up on one side, and they should go in one side and the other side, and then you just want to give it a little 1/4 twist until it clicks into place. Sometimes you got to twist it a little more than you might be comfortable with, but it will click into place, and that will seat the connection. If it wobbles around, it's not quite seated. Then we're going to replace the diffuser. Just kind of line up the locking tabs, be gentle with them. If 1 or 2 breaks off, it's not a big deal. Okay, so now we have the light attached to the light bar. See, the MyStudio sticker is up the correct way. So we're going to go ahead and put this on the legs and the feet, and we are almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the left leg over here. And a good rule of thumb is to start about midway down. So we're going to put the locking tab in about the 4th or 5th hole down. I'm going to pick the 5th hole down right now. And then I'm going to grab one of the thumb screws and screw it in from the outside. If you want to have 2 people doing this, it could help a little bit, but it's very doable with 1 person. And we're going to go to the other side. Just make sure it's in the same hole so that your light is even on both sides. Okay, so you can see you've got the thumb screw going from the outside in, the locating screw from the inside out. All right, and your light stand is all set up. last thing we want to do before we put everything into place, I'm going to go ahead and put the studio right there. Generally, the light stand is going to be about like this, but the beautiful thing about this, especially with it having the cyc corners and the coved seamless background everywhere, is you can shoot from different angles. There's no seams. You can move the light stand around. You can raise or lower the light depending on whether you have a really small product. Okay, so we finally got it set up. I've pulled the cyc up to it. We're going to turn it on in just a minute. The last thing we need to do is set up the bounce cards. You want to make sure that you put the, you really could do it either way, but we prefer to put the easel back on the dull side and leave the glossy side. One side slightly more glossy if you look at it, to be the part that's reflecting the light. So we've got the dull side in the back. I've already done one of them here. The last one, you want to peel off the adhesive, which I've already peeled off. You want the broad side down of the card, and you just want to stick this in the center. You can measure to the center and draw a line if you want. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, but you want the adhesive strip to go right down the center of your bounce card. Just put it on there like that. Then you're just going to kind of fold it back where it's creased. And then this thing just kind of folds down and locks the bounce card. And there you have it. All right, so this is kind of the standard position. Let's get the other one here, and I'm going to give you a little example of a quick photo we're going to do. I'm going to turn the light on over here. I've already plugged it in. The lights, if it's a brand new light bulb, sometimes it will flicker a little bit. You can move this light around. You can raise and lower the light depending on what you have. We're going to take a picture of a camera lens really quick, so I'm just going to stick that in the cyc. One thing you want to be sure of is you don't want to place your object right back in the corner. The best pictures are going to be generally when your object is in the middle. It gives it a little more depth, allow that background to compress a little bit and make your subject pop. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my camera in here and read through the camera tip sheet that is included in your box. It'll give you some ideas of settings you can start with. And generally you want to turn off external light, so I'm going to turn this one off. Turn this one off too. And we're going to put these bounce cards in such a way that they're shining the light just onto the product just a little bit. If you take them away, I don't know if you can see a difference, but there is a difference definitely that the camera will pick up. And you definitely want to use a tripod. Well, thank you for watching this. I hope it's helped you in setting up your MS20. I wanted to mention a couple accessories that are available for the MS20 that I have found really useful. They both are extra lights. If you get into photography, photographers can never have too many lighting accessories. So here's a couple that will work with the MS20. This right here is an extra light bar for the MS20. It's very simple. It just attaches the same place this one does. It doesn't have the reflector. It would just go right underneath this one here, basically just doubling the amount of light you have coming from the front. So that's a really handy accessory. Another one that is super handy is the similar concept. It's an extra light, but this is an accent light. And this light, the great thing about this is it can be positioned anywhere. It can be positioned as a backlight to backlight your subject. You can add some light to one side or the other. Recommend that you get a pair of these. This is the AL1 accent light, which is plenty for the MyStudio. There's an AL2 accent light that actually has 2 bulbs, but it's inside a white half cylindrical reflector so that it helps push the light out. But you could add light down here to the side, however you want. But this is the AL1 accent light. Very handy light to have. And then you have the MS20 extra light bar. So those are just a couple of accessories. But this is a great little photo studio all by itself. So thank you for watching and happy shooting. I hope you have some great luck with your photography studio.